Hello guys, welcome to the 16th lecture of a Cursor AI for Advanced Users course, and in this video I'll talk about version control and the Git features that we already have inside the Cursor, and we will do multiple demonstration to understand like why version control matters and how some of the things that we find a little bit tedious while doing manually those Git commands, we can automate it via the Cursor AI. Okay, so let's move ahead. So first let's talk about why version control matters. As we know, and if you have been doing some open source contributions or working in projects with collaborators, you know that Git is basically the heartbeat of modern collaboration, right? And most of the projects which requires collaboration with others, they definitely have Git, or definitely the repository is on GitHub. But as teams grow, what we see is commits, diffs, and merges become messy and time consuming, right? I know from my experience that I was doing, there was a merge conflict on the PR that I raised, and actually I had to spend like 2 to 3 hours to make sure that the merge conflicts are resolved at the same time my code and everything didn't break, or the product actually didn't break, right? So these things take time, as we all know this, right? Cursor AI, what it does is basically it brings intelligence to version control. It automates the context, right? What does the PR have? It summarizes it and contains all the description about the changes that has happened in the PR. And you can also know about like what has happened in the previous PRs, or different branches or different commits and all those things, right? Then it can help you providing the summaries, and also it can help us in resolving the conflicts as well. So this is very important. Okay, as a result of Cursor AI with Git together, what happens is we get cleaner commits, faster reviews, and basically fewer merge headaches, right? Reviews also happen faster. Why? Because the reviewer would be able to get a quick summary of what this change is, why this was done, and all those things, and then reviews can happen a lot faster, right? Okay, now that we know this, what we're going to do multiple demonstrations here. So let's do the first one, where we are going to be using Cursor AI to generate a commit message. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go back to Cursor, and right now I'm in the main branch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new branch, git checkout -b. You can also use Cursor agent help to generate, or basically generate a command to create a branch, but we'll do it via the command only. So I'm going to call this branch Anuj, and then I'm going to call this product doc. Okay, and actually it already exists, so I'm going to call this product doc 2. Okay, now once the branch is created, we are also has shifted to that branch. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Cursor generate a document called as product.md, basically a markdown format file that that contains the product information for users, and how BlogForge app that we have built so far can be useful for customers, right? So this is what we want. We want something like a PRD sort of thing, not PRD actually, but yeah, on a high level, what the features that we have built in this BlogForge app. Okay, so let's ask Cursor to generate this product doc, and then what we'll do, once the product doc is generated, what we'll do, we'll actually commit this into this branch by generating a commit message from the GitHub that we have inside here. And you can see it here that this is the GitHub tool that is already kind of integrated into the Cursor editor very well. Okay, so let's see what Cursor generates in this product MD. So let's wait. Okay, so looks like Cursor has generated the product MD doc for us. I'm just going to keep it, not going to read here, but I think it's mostly about like what all features that this BlogForge app has for the users. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here now to this GitHub panel, right? And I can see here that in this branch right now, or for this time, we have these changes here in product MD, right? So what you can do here is there is this kind of a magic button, right, which generates the commit message based on the changes that we have here. So let me click on here. Okay, so now when I clicked on this button, it has generated this commit message. Very interesting, right? Feature product, add comprehensive product information for BlogForge, and all the detail in a quick summary about the changes that it has generated here. So yeah, I'm gonna say commit, and we have added a commit on our branch, right? So this is how you can generate commit messages using the cursor's help. You can also tell here also agent and then paste the commit message here. So both ways are fine, but yeah, this is how you can do it. This is the button. Okay, now let's go back and let's talk about the other demo. Now what you're gonna do, we're gonna understanding PR with cursor AI, right? So what happens is generally someone creates a branch and has a lot of changes on this, and eventually it becomes a pull request which he wants to merge to the main. This is the prompt that I usually use. Take a look at the diff compared to the main branch and give me concise overview of what the changes are in this branch, right? Also mention which core files were changed and what their roles are, right? It's kind of a summary of the PR that the person has reached. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to our notes, right? We're going to go to our notes and copy this prompt. And then what we'll do, we'll actually compare this branch with the main one, right? So what I can do, I can go to the main branch, right? Then let me just clear this, and then let me paste my prompt here. So take a look at the diff, right? At the diff. So I'm going to say diff, and then once you write diff, you can also see here, let me move this here. So once you write diff here, you have branch diff with the main branch, right? So I'm going to enter this one, right? And then add the branch diff with main branch. So I'm guessing that I have to be in that branch only. So let me move to that branch, which was Anuj, and I think it was product doc 2, right? So take a look at the branch or compared to the main branch. So I can say maybe the branch name is Anuj product doc 2. I mean, yeah, it's about providing more context to the cursor AI, right? So compare to the main branch and give me concise overview what the changes are. Also mention which core files were changed and what their rules are. So let me press enter here, and this time what we'll get is basically the changes that are made in this branch and compared to the main branch. So this is very interesting. This is usually used to take a lot of time, but right now we can do it very simply, right? So once we run this, and let me run this as well, and once cursor analyzes all the things, it kind of gives you this branch diff overview. Basically this branch versus main branch, summary, files changed, role of the file, purpose, content highlights, change statistics, and all of those things. And this is very good, right? This is a very neat change or quick change about the difference in my PR or in the branch with the main branch. So yeah, this was the second demo. Let's talk about a few other demos as well. So what we're gonna do is go back to our notes, and this time we are gonna understanding about a commit with cursor AI, right? So what we can do, examine this commit carefully, describe the fixes it contain, and walk through how the logic provides a fix for improvement, right? So basically you can just take a commit ID and use that commit ID to pass it to cursor, and the cursor will explain the change that has happened in this commit, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to go back and let me copy this prompt and copy this prompt. Let's go back. And what I'm going to take a different commit actually. Let's take this one, this refactor blog, right, which we did, and this was a long change. So what I'll do, you can copy the commit ID from here, right, and then paste the commit ID here. But before that, we need the prompt as well. So I'm going to go again and copy my prompt, and then come back and then paste it here. So for the commit one, I can just pass the commit ID here, ID as this one. ID, commit ID as this one. Okay. And then I can press enter, and then cursor, what will do, it will try to check this commit ID and try to analyze the things that we have done in this commit ID. Okay, so let it do its job. So see, these are the commands you usually have to write in command line, and then basically you do it in terminal, and then again you tell about this commit ID and all. So these are like a lot of things, right, before you can think about like what changes happened, and then you will analyze the code as well. But cursor, it is kind of allowing you to run those things on the go, right? And then you just have to pull a click, and here are all the changes that we did in that commit, right? So this is a lot of things that it has done. So we are not going to read through this, but the important thing is, let me go down. The important thing is that these are the summary, these are like commit summary, which otherwise we would have to see the code and then see the PR description on the GitHub, which would take a lot of time. But here it says right in front of you, right in the editor itself. And this is very neat, right? Like what things has happened, what fixes we have done, and that commit. Okay, so this was the third demo. Now let's go back and let's see the last demo. In the last demo, what we're going to do, we are going to be actually resolving commits with Cursor AI. Okay, so the prompt is a merge conflict exists in this file. Please compare the current and incoming sections, then merge them in a way that preserve the incoming change, or basically the change that you think that probably have in the main branch in the remote, and then the refined change that you would have done in the current one, right? So merge conflicts, if it happens in the current PR, you will have some change, right, which you were trying to do, maybe something like let's do addition of 3 numbers, right? And in the remote repository, in the same file, it has addition of 2 numbers, something like that, right? And when you pull those changes, so basically it means like now you have improved it to add 3 numbers. So basically, this is a very small example of merge conflict, but merge conflict can be really huge, right? So you can use this prompt to fix it. So what we're going to do is we are going to actually go back to Cursor, and we have this product doc2 in which we have added this product doc, right? But what we're going to do is let's say in this branch only, I'll go to readme.md file, and then what I'll say is I'll say this, right? So BlockForge documentation for I'll say developers. Okay, so in this PR only, I'll make this change and I'll just generate commit message, whatever it generates, and then I can quickly let it generate the commit message. It has this one, and then we'll commit. Okay, so we have committed it, and in this branch only, Anuj product 2, we have 2 commits, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to go to this repository, which is this one, and then in the main branch directly we cannot commit because we have that rule set, right, which we did in the, I think, last video. Yeah, so we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to rule set, right? And in the rule set, let me go inside, and this must be active for you, right? So make sure it's disabled, and then you can just save the changes, right? By saving changes, it will ask you the authentication code, so that's fine. So let me copy my code, and the code is 997510. Okay, so once you verify this code, this thing will be saved, and this enforcement status basically means whether the rule set is active or disabled. That's it. So right now it's disabled. So basically what I can do, I can go to the code, and basically I'll go to readme.md. Basically I'm making commit from the GitHub only directly, right? So I can go to edit, and I'll write here BlockForge documentation for stakeholders, right? Stakeholders. So I'll say yes, commit. We can directly commit to the main branch, and yeah, we did the commit, right? So we have the commit here. So now what has happened here is, in our code, in this branch, we have this one, BlockForge documentation for developers, and there we have in my README, in the main branch, I have BlockForge documentation for stakeholders, right? And here we have developers, right? So what I'll do is I actually just pull the main branch. So I'll say git pull origin main. So I'll take the main changes into this my current branch. Okay, so let me take it in, and then we have some merge conflicts, right? So we have BlockForge documentation for developers, and here we have BlockForge documentation for stakeholders, which is the incoming change, right? And this is a current change, basically BlockForge documentations for developers. Even we have a spelling mistake also. So what you're going to do, we're going to go to, you can also resolve it in chat or resolve in merge editor with this agent and all, right? So but we are going to be using that prompt. The prompt is, let me go back, and this is the prompt, right? So I'm going to go to this one, I'm going to copy this prompt, and then I'm going to paste it here. Now the important thing, guys, here is a merge conflict exists in this file, which is readme.md. So I'm going to say at readme.md, right? Please compare the current and incoming sections, then merge in a way that preserve the BlockForge documentation for developers from incoming, right? incoming stakeholders, sorry. So that is stakeholders. So we want both of them, and the refined one for developers from current change as well, right? So stakeholders, this is something coming from the incoming, and defined one for developers from the current change as well, or we can say just from the current, right? So basically this is where I'm kind of defining like what change is coming from the main branch on the remote and what change we have it locally, right? This is what I'm trying to say. So you can do it in another way as well. This time this is a very small example, but yeah, this is how I'm doing it. Okay, so let me press enter here, and then let's see what cursor does now. So then what I want is like something like this, block force documentation for stakeholders and developers, something like that, right? So let's see. So cursor is reading the readme file for now, where the commit is, and we have provided here this file as a context, right? So let's see. So we'll say keep, right? And then verifying the merge conflict is dissolved. Yeah, it is dissolved. That is fine, but I didn't want it this one. Where is it? Block force document, and it is written here like something like this for stakeholders and developers. I think this was not there in the main branch. This was not there, right? And this is how it has decided to do it, the resolve the merge conflict. So this was very neat. And then I can just say, yeah, so this looks good, and we can close this probably, and you can say enter, merge. We can add the state changes, and we can continue, and we have the commit here, right? So if we just check the commit, so this is the commit, and basically we can actually, the commit is done, so we can log and check, yeah, these are the commits. And let me check my readme.md file, and this is how it looks like, right? So we can publish the branch. So let me push it, and yeah, so we have the branch. We should have the branch here, right? This is my branch, and make sure to activate your rule set as well, which was in settings, rule set, and this was disabled. We can activate again, and we have to save the changes. It will again ask my code, or it is directly updated. So this is fine. So we can go to pull request. No pull request open. Oh, we can would have opened. Yeah, we can open the pull request against main. We'll say product doc, right? So we'll say create pull request, and still it's working, so this is fine. The test will run, and merging is blocked once it is kind of approved by someone else. So we can ask the reviewer. Our reviewer is this fellow, which is actually me only, right? So I can go back to person one, and then go back to this site, and go to pull request, where we have asked him for a review, right? And then he can basically submit his review. So go to file changes, then go, he has read through all the changes. Yes, so once he's read through the changes and agree with it, he can just say, okay, I agree. So the PR is approved, and let's go back, and all the changes checks have passed. We can merge the pull request, right? So the pull request is merged, and then we can go to code and check in our main branch that, hey, does my readme.md, yes. So here is my documentation, and for stakeholders and for developers, it is merged into the main. So this is how the overall workflow looks like. It looks a bit tedious and messy. As you can see in the GitHub, we have to do a lot of stuff, but command wise on the Git only, we were able to automate a lot of that using the Cursor AI. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you very soon with another video on advanced cursor. See you guys, bye.